rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit fantuzzoacupuncture.com to book online today. fantuzzoacupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right. Taylor, 500 help if your air conditioning isn't working. It is hot in Rochester today. And Kimberly's Revolution is going to tell you that, listen, if you don't have air conditioning, you want air conditioning, your air conditioning crap the bed, this is the bad time for it. Call Taylor Heating and Cooling and Plumbing, and they will get you set up. Air conditioning, heating, home energy, comprehensive maintenance plans, financing, duct cleaning, because the allergies and all that tree stuff that's blowing around will kill your allergies. And these guys will make everything better for you. They'll cool you off and they'll make you allergy free, or at least close to it. Taylor 500 help. I want you to call my friend Jerry because he will set you up. And if your lawn is overgrown, I want you to go see my friends, Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. They're open weekdays 8 to 5, Saturday 9 to noon. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. The thing to have is one of those big daddy of lawnmowers, and Justin and Kimberly are going to make it all happen for you. They have new models, they have on sale models, whatever you need. Kimberly and Justin at Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. And of course, nothing makes your curb appeal look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway. And it's a hot time for it right now. Looks amazing. And I want you to do a favor and call Express Sealers, because they are not a fly-by-night company. They're not one of those door knocker sealing companies. They protect your investment. They have thick, professional, hand-applied, commercial-grade seal coat. 645-2010. 645-2010. And if you're someone that's looking for work, male or female, they don't discriminate. They would like to hire you. It's steady work. It's good pay. Express Sealers, 645-2010.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in hot, muggy Irondequoit, New York.
Woo, so
Here's Kimberly.
it's so hot. I'm sweating. It's so hot. It's not because Jose Pio is in the room. Well, I mean that too. I did, but yeah.
Is that a scoop, Kimberly?
It's a hot day for Rochester, New York. Yeah, that's. Woo! I hope everyone has air conditioning. If you don't, appreciate our sponsors and reach out to them because they help support us, and we want you to support them. Taylor Heating and Cooling on a day like today, 500 help. You have air conditioning?
Oh, thank God. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I remember when I first moved here, and I'm a real estate agent now, but of course, for many years in radio, and a real estate agent was saying, "Oh, but you don't really need an air conditioner. You don't need AC." And I'm like, "Girl, I am from Kansas City."
I'm Puerto Rican and I still need air conditioning, right? I'm supposed to love the heat, and I love Rochester weather. I like how cool it is. It's too hot.
It is. It is hot right now. And once you get used to this, nice temperate weather in the eastern, northeast United States, because people watch us from all over, you get kind of used to 75-ish. On a hot day, but it was 91 when I came in. So we are glad to be here. Kimberly's Revolution, brought to you by our sponsors. And of course, Rock Vox Productions. Fitz, of course, is over in Bushnell's Basin with Rock Vox Productions. And we appreciate him because he makes all this happen. We appreciate Austin, who is our producer. And Fitz with Rock Vox.
I do,
right?
and I appreciate him as well.
One
of my first podcasts, I was with him.
Seriously?
Yeah. So shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So amazing. City Councilman Jose Pio, representing the Northwest District of Rochester, is here with us. And of course, just Tom. Have you ever met Tom?
No.
So
I have never met.
First time?
I've never met Tom, Kimberly.
I know you've never met Tom. You're just getting to know you.
Right.
But the guys own the brokerage firm here with Revere Realty, and then they hired me, and they set all this stuff up, and they said, "Hey, are you going to work a couple of days a week now, or what are you going to do?" So I'm glad you're here because I've only talked to you on the phone.
Yes. I appreciate the invites.
Absolutely. We like you because I think politically speaking, with the mask and the no mask and the vaccination, I think we're of the same thought process, right? I don't like the mask. The vaccinations, see, here's what I think. When people say, "Hey, Jose, are you vaccinated?" I think that's the rudest question in the world.
You don't want to know what I asked them back. I asked them some very rude questions back about their health, and they don't like that.
What do you ask?
If it's a female, you ask them the worst thing. I wouldn't.
You've been to the OB?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked?
Tell me about your last pap smear. Like, why would you ask that? Don't ask me my health questions. That's crazy.
It is so, but people feel, that they can. So, I was out with some friends the other day, and we're all sitting at the bar, and the bartender said, "So are you vaccinated?" I'm like,
serve me a beer.
I don't know you.
Serve me a beer.
Just give me a glass of wine. I don't know you.
I thought the honor system was still in place.
I think he was just because we were having a conversation. And I think he was, but I don't want to, it's none of your business.
Right.
I don't tell you about, a colonoscopy, whether or not I've had one. I don't ask you, "Hey, Jose, have you had a colonoscopy?" Nobody asks those kind of questions. Why do they feel it's okay to ask you if you're vaccinated?
I do not know. It's the world we live in now.
It is the world we live in now, which is kind of crazy. So speaking of the world we live in, tell us a little bit about Jose. We know you're city councilman on the Northwest side. Now, you're like, you're not up for the primary, right?
No.
But you're running again in November.
No, I've got another 2.5 years.
Oh, right. You do?
Yeah, you're stuck with me for a little bit longer.
Thank God.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Yes. Yes, thank God. You had quite the win in 2019.
I don't think people quite understand what I had to go through in order to win by only 21 votes. We're talking, I was not endorsed by anybody, including the Democratic Committee, including the police union, including the fire union, including any of the unions. I was not endorsed by the mayor. People outspent me 4-1.
Yeah.
For anyone that says they can beat me in the next primary, I encourage them. I encourage them to run because I've only solidified myself in my neighborhoods, and they know who I am at this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know who their council person is.
Right. Exactly. So in the Northwest District, it's quite large.
Oh, my God.
Tom and I were talking about how large the Northwest District is.
It is the largest and most diverse, from 490 to the beach.
Yes, exactly.
You're talking about Lyle Avenue, Beach Avenue
to Charlotte,
all the way, everything in between.
Is that what the bumper sticker says? Jose?
Yeah,
Lyle Avenue to Beach Avenue.
Right.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. You should get that. Should be your campaign slogan.
It should be,
right? We're the idea people here.
Yeah.
We won't. We can't follow through on anything, but we're the idea people. We get it. We get it across.
The overall, the macro.
Yeah, exactly. So Kimberly's revolution today is called. Okay, Jose.
Yeah, what is it called today?
Jose is a friend of mine.
Oh,
Jose
nice.
is, because I feel like everyone who knows you says, "Oh yeah, he's a friend of mine."
Yeah,
and not just like the song, because Jose. The song Jose Cuervos, right? But you know that song, right?
The tequila song?
Yeah. Jose Cuervos.
No, he doesn't know anything about that, Kimberly.
But I feel like everyone that I talk to says, "Oh yeah, Jose is a friend of mine." But again, you have a huge district, and a lot of friends, whether or not they're your real friends or not. They're people who go to the ballot box.
Well, it doesn't matter to me, because if they connect with me, it's usually for the right reasons. I don't like to stand up for anything that's wrong. I like to stand up for very basic, human level tendencies here, where we say, look, you deal with your life and your family and your children the way you want to. I'm not going to overstep my boundaries with you, but don't overstep yours with mine.
Right.
I think that most people agree with that. We're just getting to a world where we're so divided by every single issue, and it's like, you can disagree with me, and that's what my real friends know. They can disagree with me. It is okay. We can still be friends. We can still be family.
Yeah.
But don't try and force me into believing what you believe. That's not going to happen.
I love to have a great conversation with people.
You should.
Until people start, they start hammering you or calling you names.
This is the time I put my tinfoil hat on.
or saying you're crazy, or and it goes almost immediately. You know what? Your tinfoil hat is beautiful.
It is pretty nice,
isn't it? Don't you wish you had one?
Oh, I've got plenty.
Listen,
people have put plenty of those on me. I'm tired of all my conspiracy theories coming true.
So as a city council person, where did you grow up? Your district is the Northwest District, but Well, what about Jose? Where did Jose grow up? Where did you meet your wife? How many kids do you have?
All right. So where I grew up, there's a couple answers to that because I grew up in the city of Rochester on the northeast side.
Yeah.
So we're talking Strathmore Circle, Conkey, Avenue B, Avenue C, Avenue D, pick an avenue. I was on that street. But also we moved to Irondequoit when I was young. But my family was still in the city and they babysat us every weekend.
Yeah.
So I lived in Irondequoit from Monday through Friday, lived in the city for the weekend.
Right.
Because my mom was going to school at that time for hairdressing. My dad was working all the time.
Right.
You know, we weren't, our needs were met, you know, and which was a great way to raise someone like me because I needed that. I needed it to be where whatever you want, you go out there and work for.
Yeah.
And you work hard for, and you don't complain about things if you don't get it. It's because you didn't put in the effort to get it. And a lot of people nowadays just want everything given to them.
They do.
And I look at them and say, we were raised differently.
Right.
Differently. You weren't raised wrong. You were just raised differently than
right.
me.
I mean, how did you stay out of trouble? And people say, hey, oh, that's the trouble part of this. That's trouble right there.
No, it is trouble. And it's okay to get in trouble. I got in a lot of trouble when I was younger. It's all right. You learn from that. See, I would have rather gotten into trouble when I was younger.
Unit. Yeah, right.
I'd rather got into trouble then than get in trouble now.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, look, my mom she apologizes now for the way she spanked us, but I believe that was the way. I mean, that was the way we were raised, is to get spankings. If you did wrong, you were held accountable to your actions, point blank.
Right.
And it wasn't, oh, okay, we'll wait till your dad gets home. No, she'll spank me, and then dad will spank me.
Wait till your father gets home.
He's gonna give you more.
Right. Exactly. So you weren't born in Puerto Rico. You were born here.
I was born. Actually, my mom came here because she thought that if I was raised in born in Puerto Rico, that I wouldn't be considered a U.S. citizen. So she came here.
But she
didn't. A lot of Latinos don't know that. A lot of Puerto Ricans don't know that. But if you're born in Puerto Rico, you are a U.S. citizen for everyone out there.
You are.
But she did take us back. We went back when I was 1 year old. I was raised for 1 year in Puerto Rico. I've been back 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
I love Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I hear it's beautiful. The beaches are beautiful, right? Oh my God. Yeah. So do you go back? You have family there? And
I do, but I haven't seen family there because they were like on my great grandma's side. I've never met them ever. So it's a tough job to try and get my grandma to come out at the same time as my aunt. It's just so much work. So I just go out there and have some fun.
So you have family in the city. You were raised in Irondequoit. You went to East Ridge or West Irondequoit?
No, West Irondequoit. How dare you?
Of course.
How dare you?
Except I was an Indian and he was an Eagle. That's the only.
No, I was an Indian.
You were an Indian?
Yes.
All right.
They changed that whole thing.
Man,
See,
it was like right after
yourself
me.
There.
Yeah, I graduated in 2000.
Political correctness setting in.
Yeah,
they couldn't have the Indians anymore.
I can't tell you one single Indian who ever said that they were upset by us using an Indian mascot. I've never heard of one.
No. But never. If you wear that kind of paraphernalia to the games, they say something to you, correct?
Do they really?
Old school stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, the old school Indian stuff.
I have an old school shirt. I love that shirt.
Of course you, right? I mean, the high school that I went to, we were the Fort Osage Indians. Because there were actually Osage Indians where in the area that I grew up in Missouri. Yes, they
Stop trying to erase them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
What is the thing
There's
with
a
that?
hot
I
take.
don't know. I don't know. But you see, it's all people of color. All indigenous tribes, all people of color who are trying to be erased out of the supermarkets. I'm like, what are you doing? Let them have it.
Yes.
Let Aunt Jemima have it. Let Uncle Ben have it. Like, what? Why are you talking for them and their family? They don't trust me. They don't care.
Right.
They like their royalties coming in every week.
Right.
I think that's what people don't
Hey,
understand.
Jose, there's no sense using common sense here.
Yeah.
Right.
God forbid.
God forbid you use some common sense.
Yeah.
So you graduated in 2000. And when did you meet
Straight to the military.
Straight to the military.
Yep. Straight to the military. Didn't even tell my parents I took the test. Didn't tell my parents I was signing up. I signed up, got my date, and told my parents like a month before I was leaving.
What branch?
Army.
Yes.
So there was no height restrictions in the Army?
No. Kick them out.
What are you doing?
Kick them out right now.
What are you doing?
No, I was military intel, so I got behind a computer.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I didn't need all that.
So that 60 Minutes episode, have you seen it where they can, they're like in some bunker in Vegas, like down, I don't know, 10, 20 feet with all this tech around them and basically using a drone. It's like playing video games, only you're bombing specific Middle Eastern, somewhere.
My job was to find them.
Your job was to find them.
Find the bad people.
That's fascinating.
It was a lot of fun.
So, I mean, you're a really smart guy. You have to be really smart.
I like that you say it because I say it all the time and no one hears me.
Yeah. Well,
what?
Well-rounded.
Jose Pio is very smart.
Well-rounded.
You don't get a job like that.
No. You have to take 2 tests
Being a
to
dummy.
get into the military intel. You have to take the regular ASVAB, and then you have to take another test to make sure that you really are as smart as you think you are.
Yeah.
It's a 22 question test. I got 21 answers right. It was.
So it's harder.
Dude.
It's harder than the real estate test.
That's so hard. That's so hard. I don't know how I passed the real estate, but but good for you. I mean, you know, a lot of people just kind of, you know, they think, well, yay, you served our country, but you served our country.
Oh, I did my thing.
Yeah.
I did the anti-drug mission down in Colombia, down in South America. I did the border, helped the military and the border patrol over at the Mexico border as well. I mean, I'm the guy that they went to say, hey, we need help with this.
You didn't want to make it a career? You didn't want to?
It's funny because I got out of the military because it was too political for me.
Oh,
Wow.
How funny is that?
there you go.
I couldn't take it.
God had a plan for you.
Yeah, God always.
God had a plan. He was like,
Always.
okay, Jose, you know, I tried to direct you one way.
Yep.
And so how many years were you in the military?
Did my 4 years. Got out, went straight to college. I only went to college to get the college atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I partied a lot in college, a lot.
So you went to Geneseo then?
Brockport.
Okay.
Brockport.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he knows downtown Brockport. very
Fellow
well.
Eagles,
Yeah, see?
Indians and
Yeah.
Eagles.
That's right.
And so on, what is that one main? what's
The only
main bar on?
difference between Jose and I is I spent 3 years at MCC instead of the military.
See, that was smart though.
It's a 2-year college.
Yeah,
Tom.
it's a 2
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I didn't want to. I just, I didn't want to point that out.
Exactly. He
We are
spent 4 years in
we're
the
two-
military. I spent 3 years at MCC.
Same thing.
Favorite bar in Brockport? Favorite?
Oh, CNS.
Okay. Yeah, I've been
When
there.
When I
They're
was
not
there-
open anymore though.
I've been there though.
When I was there, it was called. There was a bar called Casey's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Casey's wasn't there when I was there.
Yeah.
And so
But
you
CNS.
you got out. So you did the military. You did college.
The college, got out. I actually right after college, I started my own business. Had a prepaid cell phone stores in the city. I had 3 in the Northwest, actually. One on Driving Park,
Really?
one on Ridgeway, and the other one in Charlotte. And so when I say Northwest is my district, I love my district so much. I had businesses here. I live here.
You've done it all there.
I've been there. I've been there from when, Driving Park was not great. I got broken into many, many, many times.
Oh, I'm sure.
Many times.
Even
So-
with surveillance, you had surveillance up.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
None of that matters. You can show them a video camera and places like, we're not going to catch that person.
So when people really want a city council person or someone, within leadership in the city, in, downtown, I mean, you're the guy that, you have a firm grasp on what the city is all about.
I sure do. And I picked better bars than James Dwyer there. I see he said not Canal Side. He was in my fraternity, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I truly believe in being the voice of the community, and it needs to be someone from the community.
Yeah.
There's always people who say they're community leaders, but they're really just one particular niche of the community
Right.
that they're leading, and they're really running with that one niche. And I'm sitting here saying, no, you need to, in order to run for the Northwest, you got to represent the high-end money and prostitutes and drug dealer
Because
areas.
you get that in your area.
We have everything. We
have-
literally have everything.
Yeah.
So when someone from the other areas say, "Oh, we need to do this. We need to have RPD for this," don't tell. We can't treat Park Avenue the same as Lyle Avenue
No.
or Beach Avenue.
No.
Like
Different
completely
people.
completely different. So I'm a big fan of standing up for the Northwest. Some people don't like what I stand up for, and that's okay. They can feel free to run.
What don't they like?
They don't like that I support RPD. I support our police.
Why wouldn't we? So, and doesn't that break your heart? That the men and women who are running towards crime,
Right. The crime that we pretty much instill into the city. Because if we're not doing the right things as politicians, as elected leaders, as those who are elected to do the legislation in our city, if we're not doing the right things, it tends to end up where bad things happen. People turn to the streets. They turn to gangs.
Yeah.
They're not usually raised in that. They just turn to that because they have no other alternative options available to them. And that's what we've instilled as a city, where we keep people in low income. We keep them out of jobs because we're not bringing jobs in. We're not teaching them how to be business owners. So as long as we do our jobs right, our police department wouldn't have as much trouble. But as you see, our police have a lot of issues in our city, and it is not their job to handle that. It's our job as leaders to handle that. It's their job to get the really bad people off the streets.
Jose, leaders don't want to have any part of that, though. Some of the leaders.
Yeah, some of the leaders. Don't say all leaders there.
Some of the leaders.
Yeah. They don't believe in personal accountability. They don't believe in holding people accountable for their actions. They don't want to fine people. Like today was another conversation on the ATV legislation. They don't want to fine people.
Dirt bikes and ATVs.
That blows my mind. I said, if you were to get pulled over in your vehicle, you would get fined.
Yes.
For that.
Yes.
Oh, well, low income people. It is not low income people doing the bad things. It's people who are not obeying the law who are doing bad things.
That is true. Right?
That's it. Simple as that.
Didn't we already do that with the red light cameras?
We've already been down that path.
Bring them back, please. I would love to have red light cameras back.
Didn't we already have that?
Yeah.
So many people I know of who've gotten T-boned at intersections, hit and ran. These cars are not stopping. They're not stopping.
If you're going to have the red light cameras, have them for red lights. Don't have it for crap right turn on red.
Yeah.
That when you stop over the crosswalk, you get a ticket.
I had that a couple
I got
times.
one for stopping over the crosswalk.
It only happened twice for me. I learned really quickly to just stop fully.
Well, I got 4 of them, so it took me a little longer.
You didn't learn. You're not fast. He wasn't military intel. He was MCC.
Right.
It took me a little longer.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years MCC. Right.
MCC.
2.5.
Yeah, exactly. So your wife, how long have you been married?
Actually, we were supposed to get married last year. During COVID. We are getting married at the end of this month, actually July 2nd.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So I'm calling her your wife prematurely.
That's all right.
But that's okay.
You know how it is.
How long have you known her?
We've been together going on 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, I met her
it's about
at
time. What the hell took you so long?
Latinos, we don't like to put the ring on it quite yet.
You like to wait around and see if it's going to work out.
I had to make sure the investment was appropriate.
That's funny.
What does she think about how outspoken you are? And I want to run something by you because I saw this in in an article online. But what does she think about everything that you're trying to do and how politically outspoken you are and how passionate you are about the city and trying to make it great again, right?
Yeah. So the tough part for a significant other is the fact that they have to deal with the nonsense that people say online. As many of people are well aware.
Yeah.
She has to deal with that, and that part she doesn't, obviously she hates that, but she knows who I am. She knows what I stand for.
Yeah.
She knows that if I speak my honest truths, that people will be drawn to what I'm saying, and people will see that the city can get better as long as you're honest with each other.
Right.
And say, call a spade, call it what it is. Say what it is. Don't sugarcoat things. The city is not about that. Trust me, most of the people in this city do not want to hear sugar-coated nonsense.
Right, exactly.
They want to hear the honest truth.
25 minutes, right? What I'm going to tell you is it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you have a confidence about you.
Yeah.
You have a confidence, you have an it factor, a confidence about you that when you say something, people are going to listen.
True. Exactly.
It's not the topic of the day, so to speak. It's does the person that you're talking to believe you?
Right.
And obviously people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Right.
I think people do it, but there are people who still think that, what I say in the wrong way. I lack tact. And that is something I'm working on, is my tact, my tactfulness, I guess.
Here's the thing. And because people have said the same thing about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not exactly, and again, I don't know if it's ever going to change, but sometimes you have to just get it out there and say it.
Yeah. And
then, and I know you had to apologize last year for something that I don't think you should have apologized for.
I didn't apologize for that. I don't know and no one ever reads it. No one ever sees it. I didn't apologize for what I said. I apologize for how I said it.
I'm not getting close to you.
Yeah.
I apologize for how I said it.
Yes,
I said it was not said in love. I said it was made in anger.
Right. He said, and you said, I've got to grow from this. It's humbling, but it won't defeat me.
Right.
It will not defeat
I got louder after.
I did not speak with love and compassion. Right. I spoke condescendingly.
Right.
And which isn't, you're right. It's really not an apology, but I thought
it's an apology for, not for the words that I said, because I believe that the words that I said were in fact very true. It's just the fact that some people took it inappropriately.
Right, because you were talking about COVID, right. And I think there were a lot of people that were gathering at there's some kind of crime scene on Clifford Avenue. Right, it was a vigil. I think it was a triple shooting, right? And you had said, dear Black leaders, how about you stop pushing for racial disparity in the medical field because of Black coronavirus death and focus on keeping your constituents safe at home so that they don't get out and gather at a vigil in the first place.
Right.
I don't see a problem with that.
Makes sense to me.
I think I was still on the air then in radio, and I think we said at the time, we don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it either, because what I was voted in for was to call out what it is. And there are leaders in the city who tend to play the racial card very hard.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to get that now. And they're saying, okay, it doesn't matter if my leader is Black, white, Latino, Asian, doesn't matter. I just want them to do what's right. Right.
To actually step up and do something and call things out when they're wrong.
At that time, they were so adamant about the disparities and the health community. And I said, COVID is not racist. All right. What is wrong with it is the fact that we are, in order to do low-income housing, we have to pile people on top of each other in these projects in the hood. That's our problem, is that we're piling people on top of each other. And then when COVID comes out, we are not giving any information out. None. What happened 4 or 5 months after I made that statement is when they finally started mailing out letters saying, protect your circle. Finally, they put some money towards saying, protect your circle, stay 6 feet away, stay at home if you don't need to go out, yada, yada, yada. And I said, whoa, it's about time.
Right.
But this is what I was talking about the entire time.
But here's what I think. I think they were trying to derail you.
Yeah.
I think they see Jose Pio as someone who is going places. And I think that there are certain people that will try to derail your success.
And we see that that's usually the go-to route nowadays.
It sure is.
You call him a racist, or you call him a fascist, you call him a Trumper. You try and categorize them somewhere where people get angry about that category.
Right.
And really not the person. They don't want you to be mad at the person. They want you mad at the category.
Right.
Right. And I don't play that game.
Yeah. Good for you. I mean, that's good, because just as long as you know the agenda behind, you know, what people are trying to do.
Military intel.
It's called having your own brain and using it the way you want to.
Not 3 years of MCC.
3 years
for Jose Pio, who was a city councilman in the Northwest District here in Rochester, New York, which, you know, in the past couple of months has had significant amount of violence. And I want to get to that, but I want to, speaking of, you know, social media and people having an agenda, what do you say when an article basically says that you are in an article about you and winning, you know, the city council position and what you've done so far, an article called you a pint-sized loudmouth? You know what? This is an article
that
written
sounds
by
like a compliment.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah,
at all.
that sounds like a compliment.
Because if someone's gonna be loud, it might as well be short, right? Might as well be short and loud. Not if you're tall and loud.
But someone writes that, and not like just online banter, but like in an article.
Yeah.
A pint-sized loudmouth.
I never read that one. I will tell you what I usually tend to do. People send me these things, right? They send me the articles, they send me the YouTube videos, whatever, and I'll ask them, is this going to bless me, or is it going to impact me in a negative way?
Right.
And they'll say it's not good for you. I'm like, then why am I watching this?
Right.
Like why would I want my confidence to be stricken from me when people don't like that I'm very confident.
Sure.
They don't like a confident Latino male who doesn't blame racism for where he is in life. Right. They don't like that. They want you to feel like everything is against you and you are where you are because you are light-skinned. They call me white adjacent. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't even know what you're white adjacent.
White adjacent.
What the hell is that, Jose?
I just learned it recently. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Who comes up with these ridiculous sayings?
Well, when you tell them,
is that because you're lighter than the average Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they know what an average Puerto Rican looks like. Because
I mean, I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know, but I know what it is. I know what they're trying to do with that, and that's that they're trying to say that because of my lighter skin, I was able to get further in life, which doesn't make any sense because
oh my God. Oh my God.
I was the first male in my family to go to college. I was the first one to graduate high school. Me. So what you're telling me is, I mean, that alone, period.
You earned it.
Yeah, I earned it. I did well
because
in school.
You got up and you went to school every day.
Right.
You earned it.
And they were calling me a white boy then. Oh, you were just a white boy. Blah, blah. I'm like, why? Because I have good grades. Oh, the way you dress. Okay, so I dress appropriately. My pants fit. What is it that you're actually saying? So they're always trying to categorize Jose Pio. But the best thing about me is there's nothing you're gonna categorize me into, right? You can't say that you're just a wannabe Republican. Why am I a wannabe Republican? What does that mean? Well, because you agree with what they're saying. I agree in capitalism. I agree that small business is how people are going to get out of this overbearing debt and the fact that we can't even create any kind of generational wealth in people of color, in the communities of people of color, because you're too busy telling them they should stay on welfare, that they shouldn't get married because if they get married, they will no longer have welfare. You're saying that, if you study for school or go to college, that you're white. If you go get a job and you work hard, then you just want to be like another white guy. Like that, that makes no sense to me. So all this racist stuff, and it is both sides. Right. You know, there are racist people in this world.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Some disgusting human beings in this world. But the most disgusting human beings that have been racist towards me have been Antifa, left, far left, liberals. They have been disgusting, saying the most disgusting things to me.
I can imagine. I
have never had a non-white Antifa, far left-wing person that wasn't. I've never had them say anything negative to me. I've never been called a spick by anyone but those people.
You're kidding me.
Who
even uses that word?
They still use that?
I didn't even know.
That was like the 70s.
They thought it was going to hurt me, but it doesn't. None of that hurts me.
Yeah.
You can't call me anything. The skin is very thick.
White adjacent.
White adjacent.
Put
that into your vocabulary.
Version.
Yeah. I can't keep track of all
that.
Well,
they reach. They continue to reach. When you say, I'm Latino, that doesn't affect me.
You have every chance as every other Latino, every other Black person, every other white person. I mean, no one gave you your first business, right?
No, God, no.
Right. Yeah, right.
They tried taking it from me. If anything,
right.
I was robbed multiple times. I mean,
by people in the neighborhood.
People in that neighborhood.
Let them rob you.
Right. Because I'm white adjacent.
Right.
I mean, there is a city councilwoman that believes that, punishing people for crimes is wrong. That we should just let people rob a CVS or your former, cell phone card store.
She doesn't just believe it. They put it into action last year. All those people that broke into buildings and ransacked places.
Yes.
A lot of them were arrested and then they were let go without charges. Like we did that.
I just wonder if that person on the city council that, had suggested that poor people who rob places shouldn't be punished because they can't help but, break into places. If she ever owned a business.
No, her husband does.
Let
that blow your mind. Let that blow your mind. And I said, what if someone broke into your husband's business and took stuff from him that he used to create money for his family?
Right. To feed the family.
Right.
I know.
It won't ever make sense. You're going to keep battling inside your brain. It will never make sense.
You just wonder how people form, these ideas about such silliness.
They were probably put in a corner instead of spanked.
Yeah. Time out.
Yeah.
You have
Not
kids.
Even time out.
Do you have kids?
I do. I've got two teenagers. It's my fiance's boys, but they are my boys.
You're your boys.
Yeah. One's 12, one's 16.
And they know when they get in trouble, right?
Good luck with that, by the way.
Yeah. They're both already taller than me. So, I mean,
okay.
That's fine.
12 and 16. That's rough.
Yeah. They're good. They're really good kids though. Like they don't cause no drama whatsoever.
No, that's good.
No.
Cancel culture. How does it affect Jose Pio?
You're not going to cancel me.
No.
People
have tried.
They've tried.
Yeah.
Where am I? I'm still here, right?
You're here with me.
Right. People are still asking me to be on their show. People are still asking me to come to their business grand openings. Like these are people who know what they saw last year and they're saying that doesn't make sense. Right. That doesn't make sense. That's not Jose that I know.
They know your heart.
Right. I know what they're trying to do and it's not going to work.
Yeah. Biggest problem in the city right now. Biggest problem. Is it the leadership? Is it the violence? Is it defund the police? Is it a mayor's husband that had kilos of cocaine on him and
the biggest
several
problem,
$1,000s? What's the problem?
The lack of self-respect in men in our city. Our boys are not raised with self-respect.
Amen.
Because a lot of them are not raised with men in their lives.
That's true.
Number one. Number two, a lot of the females now pretty much tell us guys that we are no good, that there's no good men out there, that, you know, they deserve this. You know, I'm a female, I'm a queen, I deserve this. And if a guy doesn't live up to that expectation, then they're not a man, right? And I truly believe that it's the lack of self-respect that we have for ourselves, the men in this city, the young men in this city. They don't have that respect to say, I'm going to go work for that dollar instead of going with my friends to loot that store. Right. I'm going to go earn my money instead of selling drugs to this little kid that's a, you know, young teenager who's just now getting into drugs.
Right.
It's just, I think that if people had more self-respect, they would understand that the decisions that they make in their lives affect them and affect their future. And if they learn to make decisions for the future as opposed to right now, because trust me, I understand during this entire time, we had the extra money for the unemployment. Right. And if you had kids, you got extra money. Yeah. That's great. And I told somebody, I literally said to somebody, why didn't you take that money and start something that would have bettered your life in the future? And he said, the government gave me this money to increase the economy, to help the economy.
They gave it to you to spend it.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to spend it.
Right. But that's your lack of self-confidence in yourself showing, so that you have to go buy some.
You can't think for yourself. You have to.
That you care more about what people think about you than what the future of your best version of yourself looks like. Right. And I was there. Trust me, I was in the depths of the depths, right? When I had my businesses, they went crumbling down. I was robbed too many times. I was robbed. I mean, money was missing, everything. I had a very bad relationship at that point as well. And I was homeless. I was literally living on the floor of my store at a time. I was living on the floor. I put cardboard boxes down and laid on it in my store. And I applied for food stamps because it was that bad. I said, I need help. They sent me a card and said, here, you automatically get like $140 of food stamps, whatever it is. I took that and I looked at it. I actually ripped it up. I ripped that letter up. It was free $140 to go get some food that I didn't have. But I knew that if I took that, I would be stuck in that. Yeah. I would be stuck in that cycle of keeping people of color on welfare because we don't have the self-confidence to believe in ourselves to get out of it. And I was not that person. I had self-confidence. And I said Michael Jackson is my favorite artist. And The Man in the Mirror is my song. And that song got me through it. Kanye West, my favorite rapper. He's so cocky. I love it. That's why, another reason why I got it, because I was like, you need to be cocky, Jose. You need to be freaking so confident in yourself that you believe in who you will be in 5 years, that you are that person now, and act that way. Yeah. And that's
how you got out.
That's the road I took.
Definitely
believed it in my mind first.
You're homeless,
literally living on the floor. I graduated to living on couches. Then I graduated to living in like a closet, like literally a closet. And then one of my buddies, he was married at the time, and I asked him if I could just rent a room from him for $250. So all the people that out there, and this is gonna be a whole nother topic here with the housing issue that we're having. Right. I tell them all the time when they come to me, they say, I can't afford my rent. I tell them, go live with your friend, go live with your family, go live with your parents. Well, they don't want to live with me. Okay. So that means that you have more issues than just the housing problem. Right. But if you're saying that your housing is way too expensive for you and you're living above your means, then you need to pool the money together with you, some friends, some family members. It can be done. Figure it out. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I've done it before. I've spent $250 for a year. I said, give me 1 year to pay this. And after that, I will pay you full rent. Right. And, or I'll be out. Pick one.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Would you ever own businesses again?
I do.
You do. What do you own? What do you?
I quit my job in the banking world. I now fund businesses myself. I help businesses get funding to either start, create, build, purchase, whatever it is that a business needs. All this equipment here. If you needed funding for that, I get that for you. I connect you with the people that I know.
We had to find the checkbook. That's what
Well, I teach people how to not use their own money. Yeah. Leverage other people's money.
Too late, Tom.
Now he's here.
So now we know. We don't have to get out the checkbook again. Now you know. That's our big joke.
Yeah. So I am personally living on city council funds only right now because I'm getting the business up, right? Because I just up and quit my job. I just mentally I was tired of it, because I was helping people with first-time home buyers. And in this market, you're a first-time home buyer, you might know.
Tough.
It is
It's
extremely tough.
Oh, and you couple that if they're FHA.
Yeah. And well, my job was the CRA, so Community Reinvestment Act. So
Yeah.
I was helping low, moderate income borrowers. That was my job. Low, moderate income borrowers. That's it. So I was dealing with terrible credit, low income, no income, just very tough every single day.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where people weren't able to buy houses. Their offers were just not getting accepted.
Yeah.
FHA is not getting accepted.
It's unfortunately it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
there's there are first time buyers out there, but yeah, I understand. But and here you are. I mean, you have walked the walk, Jose.
I'm still walking the walk.
You're still walking the walk.
Yeah, I am low income. All right. If anyone wants to say anything, I make $2,100 a month. That's what I make on city council. $2,100 a month. That's my take home.
Yeah.
$2,100 a month.
But I mean,
who lives on that?
You are trying to start.
But I'm not only that, I'm showing people that
you can
have the confidence in yourself. Right.
You can
have
do
the confidence in yourself to be able to do for yourself. I've got mortgage, car loans, student loans, everything under my name. I'm
you're
tough,
living it.
But I have so much confidence in myself, and I want to teach people, say, look, I did it. I did it before when I was homeless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it now again. There's nothing that anyone can say about your race holding you back, because it doesn't hold you back.
It doesn't.
It will never hold you back. If you have enough confidence in yourself and you put yourself out there and you say you are so determined that you will never lose, you can't lose because you're so determined.
Mm-hmm.
It'll work out. It always does.
Gang violence in your sector of town?
Lyle Avenue and Driving Park Avenues are very tough areas for people to live in, because of not only the gang violence, but prostitution as well. There's just people who have chosen the easier path, in life. And, you can understand that to a certain point. But at the same time, they have to understand that they're going to be held accountable to their actions.
Right.
If you chose that path, you understand that there's usually only two routes out, either in handcuffs or 6 feet under.
Right.
They know that, though. So I don't like when people are speaking up for them, saying, oh, we need to give them mental health. They don't usually want that. What they usually need is mentorship. They need a healthy older male to say,
helping
look,
hand.
Yeah, let me show you some stuff out there, because what they may only know on Lyle Avenue, they may have never even left Lyle Avenue area, right? But if you show them Charlotte Beach, they're blown away. They're like, what in the world? Or you show them
the carousel?
We just opened a carousel.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Oh my God. Because carousels give you COVID. But anyways.
Well, there are horses on that carousel.
Yeah.
No, you have to ride the tiger. Or the giraffe.
I jump in the water. I rather just let the Genesee River water flow on me to give me all the medical help I need.
There you go.
Because if you can survive Genesee River water,
you're fine.
You're all right.
You're fine.
Another thing we have in common.
Right. It is Kimberly's Revolution. That is the name of our podcast. And of course, we want you to support our sponsors because they support us. Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Taylor Heating and Plumbing, and of course, Express Sealers and Precision Lawn Care. Rockvox Productions is, how we do all this. And Fitz is a great help. We have Jose Pio in studio, city council person of the Northwest Side, city council man of the Northwest Side.
Thank you.
And someone saying, Darcy says, I love listening to Jose. He says they love listening to you. My old neighborhood.
That's sad though.
My old neighborhood, Lyle and Glide. It was so nice. At one time, Linda says. What's the name of Jose's business?
TLS Funding Solutions. TLS as in the lone soldier.
I like it.
Trademarked and everything. I own that.
You own it.
No one can use lone and soldier together in a sentence.
Really?
No
You're
one.
smart. It's military.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the military thing. The name of today's Kimberly's Revolution is Jose is a friend of mine, and it's a friend of a lot of people. So let me ask you, your first thought when you found out about the arrest of your mayor, our mayor's husband, on drug charges, not just little drug charges, but now facing federal charges as of this afternoon of a mid-level, drug gang.
Mid-level. That kills me.
That is a shot in the gut.
With 32 kilos of cocaine.
Yeah. Not only sad, but completely in line with what you would expect, right? I don't think anybody was surprised. That is sad to say. If everybody who heard that was like,
and guns in the home, Jose.
And now the
nobody
news.
was surprised. Nobody was surprised. Nobody. They all said, of course, right? Oh, here we go. Another issue with the mayor, another drama, more drama. Nobody was surprised though. How sad of a city do we live in where the head, the CEO of our city gets,
well, it all goes back to
Come
respect,
on.
like you said from the beginning.
no respect for themselves. Like we
Yeah.
should never allow that. We should have never allowed the 10 other issues we've had. past.
Well, yeah, forget about the indictments for a second.
But it's accumulated.
But if you're
for so
trying,
long.
if you're trying to run a city that has a huge violence, gang,
Mhm.
drug issue, what kind of a look is it, Jose,
right.
to have a mayor whose husband was busted on his way to a drug deal? Now, I know you're not married. You said we're hoping to get married in the next year.
If she doesn't leave me.
But
This month.
this month.
Yeah.
But the mayor is married
Yeah.
to Mr. Granison.
Mhm.
They are not separated that I know of. There's no legal documents.
So it does pose a couple questions that she refuses to obviously take.
Mhm.
And she's smart for doing that, which is this either happened under your nose
Right.
in your home.
Right.
It happened right underneath you, or you don't live there. So where do you live?
Mhm.
Those are questions that she has yet to answer.
Yet to answer.
But I think most people would say, well, I think we all know she doesn't live there. You know, we all know where she lives. Okay. But that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem that we can't just sweep underneath the rug anymore. Like this is
So
getting
why
to the
doesn't
point.
anyone say where she lives?
She won't take any questions. That's what happens when the media does it not seem as if sometimes our local media just lets her
Get away with
get
it.
away with it. I mean,
Yes.
where
And I wondered why, Malik, who is running against her,
Mhm.
he's a city councilman along with you,
Mhm.
and really kind of gave her a pass. This is a huge story.
Yeah.
Drugs and guns were
Yeah.
found in the house, or in the car. The guns were found, but you know what I'm saying. But he said he wasn't going to go down that road.
well, he's a different leader than I would be, because I sure as hell would.
Does he want the
Yeah.
job, Jose? Do you think he wants the job? Because he sure doesn't.
I hate speaking for anybody, because
know.
honestly, I
It
hate
just
when people
doesn't
speak for
seem
me.
like it
Right.
doesn't seem like he wants the job.
But if it were me, you would see me everywhere hammering this.
Yeah.
Hammering this.
Sure.
Hammering it. Because I would say to the other Black females in our city, this is not an example. This is not a good example for you.
It is
As
not.
a young Black female, this is not a good example for you. And maybe this type of man is not the best example for who you should be dating
Right.
or having children with
Or
marrying,
raising your
or
child.
right.
There he is, right there.
But it's up to you to decide that. It is up to you. I personally wouldn't do that. You wouldn't marry that. You wouldn't marry. But that's our self-confidence speaking, right?
Right.
We were raised differently.
Right.
Other people don't have that self-confidence, so they're willing to take anyone that shows that there's some kind of future there for them, and they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it looked like when they first got together. I don't know them. I don't know him personally either. But all I do know is now, right? And what I know is if my fiance were to have gotten my house raided, we would not be calling her a fiance.
No, right?
It would be an immediate bye, get
It's
out.
over.
Right?
Yes.
There would be no question.
Right.
But that's my self-confidence. I would never agree to that. I would never be okay with that.
Did she speak to council after?
No.
No.
You know, I have never once since I swore into office, I have never once talked to the mayor on a one-to-one level at all.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That's
what?
actually shocking.
Right.
You're a city councilman
Right.
in the
Wow.
biggest district that the mayor
Right.
oversees.
I am the only council person that lives in the Northwest. I say council person because male or female. I'm the only one that lives in the Northwest. The only one.
And
Everyone
you've
else
never
lives
had a
everywhere else.
one-on-one with
Never
the
had a
biggest
one-on-one.
district in the city.
I've had conversations through email only. One conversation that I had with her was before I got sworn in, when I just won the election. And I told her, and me and the mayor don't really have great connection, right?
Yeah,
I've been very upfront about how I feel about her. Her leadership, should I say.
Right.
Not her personally, her leadership. But I told her, my job is to make you the best mayor that you possibly could ever be.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that you require the Northwest to be the best mayor that you could be. So how can I help you? How can I help you be that person? She looked me dead in the eye and said, I don't need anything from you.
Wow.
So from that point on, I knew exactly what the relationship was going to be. Right. I knew exactly what it was going to be.
Don't tell her how to run the city. Don't offer any help. She's going to do what she wants to do.
She's been doing it the entire time.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Right. But we see how that has led to the city that we're in right now.
And Jose, if city council people, women, men, get sideways with her, they're scared, right? Because that was my take on it. And you don't have to, speak for Malik. My take on Malik Evans, who is running for mayor.
He is? I didn't hear that.
Mayor, lovely Warren. I felt that during, our cameras go off. It's a little thing.
Get Fitzy in here.
Right, exactly. It was my take that he's almost afraid of her. And I know many people have, the wrath of Mayor Lovely Warren
she tried it with me.
Is well known.
Right.
Did she try it?
That's
okay.
She tried the wrath?
Yeah, she tried. She wrote a letter to my constituents. She wrote a
letter to your...
Yeah, using taxpayer funds.
A lady
wrote
that you've never had a meeting with.
1 month in, me being on city council, 1 month in, she wrote a letter to my constituents saying, I don't know what I'm doing. 1 month in.
Why would she do that? Wouldn't you want the mayor and the council members to work hand in hand?
One would
on a very close personal, way.
One would think.
One just to garner support, right?
I mean, we're here for the city. We're not here for
a
certain segment of the city. We're here for the city. So,
were you going to run for mayor?
It was a prayer every single night. It was a heavy burden on my shoulders every single night.
Why did you just decide it wasn't the time? You were good. Someone talked you out of it?
No, nobody talked me out of it.
No.
It's because no one's going to tell me how to live my life.
Right.
But what it was it was a combination of a couple of different things. Number one, by no means was I prepared anyways. So meaning money wise, I hadn't done anything. I wasn't prepared for running for mayor within 1 month of being on city council.
Sure.
That wasn't my expectation. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't call the people who are not ready, right? He doesn't call the willing. He calls you and says, go do the damn job.
Ready to go.
Right. But what I felt in my heart was that I was doing it. If I would run, it'd be out of spite. I would be running against Lovely Warren instead of running for the city of Rochester.
Well, with the president of the United States, that's how he got elected.
Right. But you see how people are after him. I don't want that for my city. Like I don't want.
You don't want people voting against her. You want somebody voting because they believe in you.
Exactly. And I truly believe that I do have the right mindset for it and the right ideas for it, because I've got plenty of ideas. But do I think if Malik is afraid of Lovely, I would personally say that in order to beat Lovely Warren, you have to be a very strong man. A very strong man. Like you have to be an alpha male to beat Lovely Warren, because Lovely Warren is a very strong female.
Right.
Yeah, she's very impressive.
She is, and you can't take that away from her. She is very impressive. She's got a backing behind her that will never allow you to say anything negative about her.
Yeah.
So in order to beat her, you have to come right.
Well, you can tell that now because of the way the media handles this particular story. I mean,
well, it's kind of hard when it feels as if the mayor's office is using a lot of constituent taxpayer funds to do things to put her in a light that is only positive, right? And obviously anybody would, but when you have a state of the city address that's taking 5 months to do because it's being released like once a month, that's never happened. You do a state of the city, it takes an hour, you do it in front of people or online, and it's over with. You don't use taxpayer dollars to have a marketing team and a production team and a video editing and an audio editing, and then have people who are pastors and leaders in the community come on and do, one-on-one conversations to the camera about how amazing you are. That you don't do that.
Right.
You go up in front of a crowd for 1 hour. You say how the city is not doing well, if you're being honest, and what you're going to do in the future. We don't have that. What we have are 5 commercials for the mayor paid by the city.
But the thing is, if she goes up and stands there and says, "Hey, we need to cut down on violence and drugs and whatever," I mean, it's just it's a hypocritical, kind of thing, right? You look at that and go, I mean, at least I, as a media person, would say, how are we supposed to do that when you can't control it in your own house? No one will ask that question, Jose.
Right.
Not one person in the media will say to her. I mean, I would say it to you. Hey, listen, how do you correct this issue? And what you spelled out very well. I mean, you have to start with self-respect, and you have to go get a job. You have to figure out.
You got to apologize first.
We
have not had, if you look at any one of the many issues that we've ever had with the mayor, we've not had one apology ever to the people of our city. Never.
Well, you can't apologize if it's always someone else's fault.
It's always someone else. But people are getting hip to that.
She doesn't believe she's done anything wrong.
Well, I know there's people out there, and I know your listeners are seeing it.
They are.
Yeah.
They know that they can read through that and say she's not going to say anything bad about it because she's going to blame it on racism, which she immediately did. Immediately.
Did you have money on that?
If there was an over under, I don't even know what it was, but I better have won some money on that one. But
yeah, how does the mayor of a city claim to be a victim? I mean,
you can't even.
I mean, that
7 out of 9.
That just makes no sense, right?
No, 7 out of 9 city council members are people of color. 7 out of 9.
Right.
Your mayor is black. Your RPD chief has been black. Your fire chief has been black. Now he's Latino. Every high-end position in our city, for the most part, is black. Actually, to be honest, is black. Because I brought it up to her about how Latinos in city who are hired by the city, by her administration, they usually end up answering phones and cleaning desks. That's their job, right? That's what they're hired for in City Hall by her administration. So when we're sitting there saying equality, and I sit there and say, I'm looking at the numbers saying, well, I'm seeing the numbers for whites as well. The white folks, I said, I don't know how to properly Caucasian. I don't know, but
just call me a cracker.
I will not say that. Will not say that. But they are underrepresented.
Call me anything you want.
Right. The only population that's overly represented by a lot in our city is the black population, which one would come to understand that it's Lovely Warren. She's going to do that, right?
Yeah.
But the Latinos are underrepresented comparative to our city, the numbers of our people in our city, right?
Okay.
Same thing with Caucasians. The only overrepresentation is blacks, actually Asians now, because she just hired on like 3 people to try and get that new American vote.
Well,
I see it. I don't know if anyone else sees it.
You're not stopping the political thing, though. You'll run again?
I think that there are some things in the future that Jose needs to be a voice for.
Yeah, you need to be a voice.
Yeah.
You have to stay.
It's not just that. We don't need one mentality on city council, right? That's disgusting to think that we need one mentality.
You need lots of thoughts.
Right.
Coming together.
30 plus years ago, the city was only ran by Republicans. People don't remember that. The city was a Republican city for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's only actually gotten worse when Democrats took over. And I'm a Democrat, and I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I
was a Democrat up until a year ago.
Yeah, for 30 years, last 30 years, it's gotten progressively worse.
Yeah.
My favorite mayor, Bill Johnson, I'm a big fan of his because number one, he came to the council members who represented districts and said, let's meet at least every quarter they met.
Yeah. And
not only that, he met with the community associations and he tried something with the fast ferry. He tried. At least he tried.
Yeah.
Right. It was way too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon. But he tried something different.
Yeah. But there was a communication. There was a respect that he had for the council members.
There was a connection to the community.
There's none of that
he represented. Right.
One thing you wish you had known before you began all this. Is there anything that you wish
how crappy our city is actually ran because they don't care about customer service.
Yeah.
Like no cares given whatsoever. Also that city council has to email, if we email the commissioner or, to say, hey, this isn't getting done in my district, whatever it may be, or this address didn't get their garbage picked up. We also have to email the city administration to let them know that we're emailing the commissioner.
Yeah. Wow.
We're so micromanaged.
Wow.
Right. But
that doesn't make any sense to me. Just go to the horse's
Just go
mouth. Right.
Just go straight to the person, the commissioner. And I tell, and Same thing with marketing. The marketing team for the city, they're paid for by city dollars. We can't use the marketing team. Only the mayor can use the marketing team. So when I went to them, I was like, oh, can I, I see that you're doing some things for businesses in districts. Can I go show you some areas? They're like, well, you got to run it by the mayor first. I'm like, what do you mean?
Well, she won't even take a call.
Yeah, she won't. She definitely won't take my call.
She's not taking your call, Jose. Right. That is for sure. The boys, are they bilingual?
No, we're trying. But they were just like me. I am bilingual, but I'm not 100%. I only spoke Spanish until age of 3, actually. Yeah. But the boys, no, they're not. One is taking Chinese though.
My son-in-law's family's from Puerto Rico, and he does not speak any Spanish? No. It's weird. It's weird for us.
But you can understand if someone speaks it to you.
For the most part,
for the most part.
Yeah, as long as they're not speaking that
he knows the
Spanglish.
He knows the swear words.
I know the school Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know the street Spanish.
So favorite thing to do as a kid in the city when you were growing up, and then we'll get you out of here.
Riding my bike. I was able to ride my bike everywhere.
Yeah.
Never a worry in the world. Ride my bike anywhere. Conky, I'd ride my bike. I would ride it everywhere. Franklin High School, I'd ride my bike too.
Yeah.
For playing some games, some pickup games. Never a worry in the world.
Best childhood, right?
Best.
Going up to the corner store,
by myself.
Ice cream.
By myself.
Yeah.
There was never a worry about someone shooting me.
First job at 16 or 15. How old were you?
14.
14?
My first official job. First official job, because in the summertime I was actually doing lawns. Mm-hmm. So I was making money, and then wintertime was shoveling. Mm-hmm. So I've always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But my first job was dishwashing, and I don't wash dishes now.
Yeah.
I told my fiance, I said,
that was it for you?
Oh God, I hate washing dishes.
Yeah.
I hate it.
That's what a dishwasher is for.
Right.
That's what a dishwasher is.
Oh, my fiance doesn't like. She likes it by hand. You got to do dishes by hand.
Is she one of those people? There are weird people, and I never knew they existed, that put the dishes in the dryer, in the dishwasher to dry. Did you know that?
I don't know that.
You mean you have
but
a
it makes
setting
sense
where you put the...
No, they put them in there to dry, and then
I don't think that's too weird.
That's very weird.
It's
they wash
that
them by hand, and then they put them in the dishwasher.
That's okay.
And just leave them there to dry. Okay, that's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing.
Oh, they use it as a drying rack.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they don't want water all over their counter.
Well, right. I will tell you that it has been a treat having you on the podcast.
I appreciate it so much, guys.
Jose,
thank you so much. Make me one of those.
You want a tinfoil hat?
I'm gonna need more of those. I need a add to my collection, I guess.
Jose is a friend of mine. That's the name of today's Kimberly's Revolution.
It was a treat.
We hope that you're a city council man for a very long time in the Northwest.
You hope that I grow. You hope that I represent more people in this state. And get us out from underneath the Cuomo dictatorship.
Yes,
we hope he's governor.
Mask or no mask, Jose. This is what Jose said. He goes, if I come in, do I have to wear a mask? I'm like, do you know me?
I said I will only come in if I don't wear a mask.
Right.
I don't go into businesses that require masks.
You do know me, right? I don't.
right. I just had to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't go in business. I walked out of a business at Christmas because they said you have to use hand sanitizer on you. It's basically chemical poison.
Yeah, I don't even.
You're using that hand sanitizer every day, multiple times. What is that doing to your skin and the chemicals getting it?
We will find out in 20 years.
We'll find out the wrong way.
In 20 years, we're going to find a lot out.
And I'm not a crazy girl, but I'm not putting hand sanitizer on my hands 5, 6, and I'm certainly not going to use hand sanitizer to come into someone's business that's requiring me to do it. Forget it. And I know you're a big fan of Vanitos too. And Don and Julie are friends of mine.
Nice.
They're very good friends of mine. So very good. I'm so glad you came out.
Thank you.
I wish you much success in the near future. I don't need to because I know you are self-motivated and you're a strong person and you keep that Northwest District together, man. You're doing a great job.
Don't worry. They got someone at the helm that's going to fight for them any chance they get.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. And of course, Kimberly's Revolution. Just Tom.
That's me.
We will be back tomorrow and of course support our sponsors as they support us. And as we always say,
Jose Pio for governor.
That's it. That's right.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.